evening, everybody. I thought I'd go off script as well, because that was a different start. So I just wanted to tell you, in 1992, Jeff came into my company and basically said, I would love to have a job in the candy business, and if I do, I will make an impact, I will have a fantastic family, and ultimately I will be voted into the Candy Hall of Fame in 2022. And so because he did that, I said, wow, hopefully we stay in contact. And I've been out of the industry, unfortunately, for probably 10 or 12 or 15 years, and we have lost contact. And I got a call a couple months ago, and he says, you know what, I would be so proud if you would join me to stand on the stage with his wife and his family. And honestly, I have been more than moved. So what Jeff reflects is more than just a candy guy. It's somebody who left an impact not only on me, but on many of you here, and I'm super, super happy that he chose me, and that's beyond my words. So I hope you're happy as well. Jeff?
It's so different up here. So I'm going to go a little off script too. No, I promise you, Teresa, I would not do that. Thank you very much for the introduction, Reiner. I've discovered early, and thanks to you and the Regal team, that this industry is really like a family. And you'll hear a lot through the next 3 minutes that it is about family. It's about who you get to hang out with every day, who you get to spend a lot. This is a little off script. Who you get to spend a lot in the vendor meeting lobbies and get to have a lot of time when you travel half across the world for a 15-minute meeting. But in the end, I'm very humbled, I'm very honored and privileged to be nominated for the Candy Hall of Fame. I want to thank the board of the NCSA and for their support of my nomination. And I do want to personally thank Teresa for her efforts in helping this problem child through the process. Thank you, Kevin Jenkins, for being my Hall of Fame buddy. Thank you all who wrote letters on my behalf, touched by your support. I know that there were many more that were willing to, which is also appreciated as well. I want to thank Rich, Andrew, Mike, Joe, and the CA Fortune family, as well as my Yummerth family, including Steve, Rick, Deb, and Sasha. I really want to have a special thanks to Deb Franks, who unfortunately can't be here. She's at a family wedding, but she's the reason why I'm standing here today. So thank you, Deb, for everything that you've done. I apologize in advance for not calling out the individuals that have been important and impactful to my career and the great friends I have in the industry. There are far too many, and I appreciate all of you. Yes, that includes the band, and you all know who you are. The friendships, as well as the therapy at times, have been appreciated. As you heard earlier, I have been selling candy since the 4th grade. There was, in the old days, I grew up in the North Shore of the Chicago area, and there was, right outside of grade school, right outside the public property, there was a guy named Don. Don had an orange VW bus. Don was basically your portable 7-Eleven. And what he would do, he had 2 candy racks inside. And what I offered Don is said, look, I can be your inside guy in the school. You're only going to be available to sell when it's lunchtime. Give me a box deal. I'll buy it at a BOGO, whatever else it is, and I will be the inside guy. And I made a lot of money in 4th grade. And then 5th grade, and sometimes Carol, I love her to death, and she always thinks I peaked too early in 4th grade, but in a big deal in 5th grade for me is I was able to buy this huge opportunity, a 24-count box of Rainbow bubblegum. And I brought it back to school. I was so excited. I was just going to make so much money back then. And I had it sitting on my lap, and I was in Mrs. Good's 5th grade history class. And Mrs. Good, who, you know, I love that woman. She taught me a lot in history, but she also had a no chewing gum policy in her class. Well, part of what I was doing was I was chewing gum to think about it like sampling. I was encouraging the students that after class was going to be over, they would come to me, and I'd be able to sell them my Rainbow bubblegum. Well, Mrs. Good knew where she was going to really hurt me the hardest. She made me give each and every child in that classroom a free pack of Rainbow bubblegum. So when we all talk about our KPIs and gross margins and all the other stuff, I learned about all that very early in life. So again, this industry is really like family, and I do want to thank several that have been a big part of my family. My Regal family, Reiner Schiller and his family, it was my first real job coming out of college. It was amazing how I was able to grow up in this industry. He gave me a lot of opportunity to kind of take as much rope as I wanted to. And I got to give credit to Reiner, because he was quite honestly the most, I would say, innovative individual back in that day. I truly mean that. He was well ahead of this time. My Flicks Candy family. I want to thank the Diamond family, Sid, Phyllis, Debbie, and Michelle. The opportunity to learn about the licensing business was quite unique, and I really, really thank them a lot and apply a lot of the discipline that I learned way back then to this day. I also want to give a shout out to Rick Minardi. Rick Minardi was our operations guru. He told me a long time ago, as we were starting to have young children, that you need to be active in their lives, you need to coach. I've coached each and every child, and those have been everlasting memories. You'll never get that time back, he told me, and he was absolutely right. So Rick, I want to thank you very much, because that was a big part of my life. My Ford Gum family, George Stagey, Steve Green, thank you for the opportunity. How can you not have fun selling shredded bubble gum in a pouch? I mean, come on, it's incredible. You know, my Yum Earth family, I've been here almost 7 years now, and I want to thank Steve, Rick, Sasha, most of the leadership team within the organization. It is not easy to grow a brand the way we have, but it's been a great time and appreciate that. Now for my family. I want to thank my mom. She encouraged me that I can do anything attitude. Therefore, I have the attitude that most people in this room appreciate from me. She gave me the strength. She taught me to listen and respect everyone's time. Most importantly, she doesn't like and taught me to not take no for an answer. And that's what kept me going all these years. I want to thank my dad, the man who taught me what noon, for those in the central time zone, noon on Sunday means. I know it's 1 o'clock for you Eastern folks. But in the end, he taught me that, and he also told me that if I ever come to a meeting 5 minutes early, I'm already late. So I'm never late. Drives you nuts too. And I want to thank all my children for laughing at all those bad dad jokes that I continue to do, and for putting up with me. And trust me, it is not easy putting up with me in my house. I have learned a lot from each one of you, and so very proud of everything that you've done. I want to thank my son Andrew, who unfortunately couldn't be here today due to a wedding conflict. I learned a lot of what it was like to be cool under pressure. He's a great person, son, sibling, and he always has his family's back. I want to thank Lauren, who I've never met someone so focused and organized, and very proud of what you've been able to do so far in your very young life. Jenna, I'm very proud of what you do, not just for work, but how you have given back in so many ways that is remarkable. Kindest person I've ever known. And then here comes Simone. By the way, happy birthday. This is the moment where I start getting a little cracky. I've known you for over 10 years, and you've always made me smile. Thanks for being part of this family. You've changed this for the better. Carol, now the important part. Thanks goes to Carol, who has put up with me for almost 30 years. Not easy. If you know me well, you should know that acknowledge her today as truly a rock star. And I want to thank her for always putting up with me getting lost in the grocery store as she's shopping and I'm looking in the candy section. I'm trying to see what is new and what's going on in the seasonal world. I also want to thank her for doing all the shoveling during those many, many winter storms that I unfortunately got stuck in Munich or Karlsruhe or wherever it was in Germany or in China. So I unfortunately missed most of the winter over my career, and thank you for that. You have been a true partner. You really have. While I know it's not easy, you make me laugh every day. The journey has been great for these last 30 years, and I look forward to doing it again for another 30. Thank you. I look forward to celebrating with everybody here tonight. Cheers. Have a great night. Thank you very much.